Good morning, colleagues. This is Darian, and happy Monday to you, October 18th. I'm greeting you from my office today, where I'm in the midst of it already, but I thought I'd share with you a few highlights from my week last week, and then some things that are percolating in the air for me. Just some ideas about last week's boot camps, excellent ones, spoke specifically around our work in CTLE and professional development. I also had a wonderful boot camp as well on our grants process and understanding the pre-process and the post-process and all the things that go with that. Had several listen and learn sessions with our nursing students and graduate students. You know what I found really interesting in the graduate student one of the students raised this idea of being a first generation graduate student, and that had just set with me in a very different way, probably because I was similar to her, a first generation undergrad but also first generation graduate student, and what the implications are for that. I believe that one of our deep competencies at Nevada State College is indeed serving first generation college students. For us, though, I want to be able to clearly say that we're serving first generation undergraduate and graduate students. So something to put in your mind to think about as well. I also met with the absolutely delightful Mary Dean Martin, who is a wonderful philanthropist, a dedicated citizen of this community, and for whom our library is named. She is phenomenal. We read poetry together. We got to spend time talking about the area, and I hope that I have made a friend for life because she is just absolutely going to be one of my new favorite people. With that as well, I had the opportunity to participate in our Tunnel of Awareness, one of the most significant cultural experiences I've ever had. The fact that our students intentionally designed this, that they're very deliberate about the different spaces, our wonderful team of folks that work with them to support them. I know that I left that space profoundly changed. It had me in tears, but also very deliberately thinking about some of the work that is coming before us as an institution, as we think deliberately about inclusion, as we work deliberately to talk about how we want our students to experience this organization, our employees to experience the organization. It was wonderful. And then last but not least, I have continued to have meetings with my senior leadership team, the executive team as well, thinking very deliberately as I learn. Spent time with our dean of the nursing program last week. I'll be doing the same with our deans of the School of LAS and also the School of Education. So thank you to all of them who are being very deliberate in helping me understand the nuances of the issues that are affecting our institution. So a couple campus issues that are coming forward that I want to make you aware of. You will be receiving a memo from me regarding remote work. We're going to be talking more about this as an institution. One of the things that became very important for me early on is to find out where we are with this and where the college needs to be deliberate about our work in this space. And we clearly recognize that there's much opportunity for us to be a 21st century employer, to really adopt some strategies in this space. In fact, our NT Board of Regents gave us authority to do this, yet we had not yet created a policy. So we're going to do that to help guide that. In the meantime, we will not be entering in any remote work strategies or work remote agreements, and in fact maybe revisiting some who somehow had those. So we're going to be spending a good amount of time on that. In addition to that, we are going to be spending some time at the request of our governor looking at opportunities for possibly supporting Afghan folks who are refugees who are coming to us in our state, and if there are ways in which Nevada State College may be able to rise up and help support those folks. We're going to continue our work on the salary study. Eric, our HR director, is going to be holding a presentation for our administrative and academic faculty on October 27th at 3 p.m. in our Christensen Education Building, room 211. Hope you will come there, bring your questions, and help us continue to be as thoughtful and deliberate in our communications about this study. We're looking and watching COVID. We're looking at all the numbers going in the right direction. So grateful to each of you who've actively engaged in this. It feels really exciting to be moving toward the next norm of whatever this environment is going to look like. In fact, right now, our current employee vaccination rate is over 85%. Congratulations to you. So proud and honored to work with colleagues who think not only about their own personal health and that of their family, but also our role as a part of a community. opportunity. So thank you for the work you've done in that. If you're still unvaccinated, student or employee, there's still time to get vaccinated to meet the mandatory dates. I would encourage you to do that. Robust information on the college's website. I'd ask you to be actively engaged in that and make sure that you are aware of the obligations that we have as employees and students, and also make sure you're aware of where all the resources are. So congratulations to each of you at that 85% mark. That makes me so happy. Some observations. As I continue to experience Nevada State College, let me offer to you that connection and vulnerability continue to be at the top of mind. Some of the conversations I'm having with people who take very, very intentional steps to talk about the ways in which they want to show up for our organization. They talk about the connectedness that we have. They talk about the opportunities for improvement. I'm really deliberate about that. But what I think is important, as I talked about in my introduction, of showing up both publicly and privately as the same person, and to be deliberate about that. I'm very grateful that so many of you are meeting me where I am in that and doing the same thing. And I look forward to what that means for us as an institution as we continue to evolve, and why this type of philosophy is something that I think could be transformative for us as an organization. I might ask of you, as I sit in my office and listen to the wind that's blowing around, and listen to some of us who are struggling with allergies, or some of our colleagues who are experiencing different family situations, I'm always going to ask you to be a good steward of your health, both your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, all the things that matter. Stay connected to the people in your lives that you need to be connected to. Remember that there are resources if you're struggling in any area. And I also want to encourage you that it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'm asking each of you, if you're a woman of a certain age, which a few of us are, and actually men who also have a history of breast cancer in their family, I need you to make an appointment for your mammograms. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself and making sure that you're utilizing the resources that are here. If that's a connective theme throughout today's commentary, it's really this idea that we're all in this together, and part of that means that our obligations as colleagues is to show up for each other, but it also means our obligations to show up for ourselves, to nurture our soul, our spirit, our body. It's the only one we have. And I hope that each of you continues to do well. Take care of yourself, and until the next time, be well.